Alright guys, time for another episode of Cooking with Joel, and today we are going to be making Spaghetti Carbonara. One of my absolute favorite Italian dishes. Very simple, has very few ingredients. All you're going to need for this is 1 pound of pasta, 4 ounces of Pecorino Romano cheese, about a half a pound of pancetta. Traditionally you would use what's called guanciale, which is a cured meat from the jowl of a pig, the cheek part. But I can't get that around here, so we're using pancetta. I'm going to be using 4 whole eggs plus an extra egg yolk and some salt and some pepper. So I'll get some stuff started and I'll see you guys in a second. So what we've done so far, you take your eggs and your extra egg yolk and beat them up just like you would if you're going to make scrambled eggs. And then into that, you're going to mix your 3 to 4 ounces of Pecorino Romano cheese and some pepper. So it should, when you're done with it, kind of form a slurry that will look a little bit like this. Now you're going to want to set that to the side, and then you're going to want to put your pancetta or guanciale if you can get it in a pinch. You can use bacon for this as well, although old Italian men would go crazy if you did that. You're going to put this into a cold pan and then bring it up to medium heat, and we're going to cook it that way. The reason you want the pan cold before you add the meat into it is because that's going to help render the maximum amount of fat out of the meat, and that's actually what is going to help create the sauce for the carbonara. So I'll go ahead and get this turned on, and if you hear a hissing in the background, that is probably just the water heating up the temperature. And again guys, this is going to take a little while to come up to temp and start cooking, because again, you're dealing with a cold pan, but you do get a lot more of the fat rendered out for that. Alright guys, the bacon is almost cooked, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat completely off of it. It'll cook the last little bit that it needs to in that, and we're just going to leave it as is. Now if there's a little bit more fat in here than you want, you can use a towel to mop up just a little bit of it, but you are going to want to leave as much of that in there as you're comfortable with, because this is what makes the sauce. What we're going to do now is we're just waiting on the pasta to get done. Then we're going to add the completely cooked pasta directly in to the pan with the pancetta or guanciale or bacon, or whatever you may be using. We're going to mix that together, and then we'll add the egg mixture after that. And that is what is going to make this amazing, creamy spaghetti carbonara. Alright guys, at this point my pasta is done, so we're just going to go ahead and add it directly into the pot here. This will take just a minute. My apologies if the camera fogs up. Alright, and now we got that all in, so we're going to mix that good. Alright, so that's all mixed in, and now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and add in the egg and cheese mixture that we made earlier. The reason you cut the bacon off when you do, obviously because it's done already, but additionally you don't want your eggs to get scrambled, because all you really want is the residual heat from the pasta as to being what is going to cook the eggs just a little bit. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and add this in. Now if this ends up being a little thin and you need a little bit more liquid, you actually can use maybe a 1/4 cup of liquid of pasta water from what you cook the pasta in, so don't throw that away instantly. Let's see what we've got here. We're going to mix this up good. Alright, so I am going to use just a little pasta water, and we'll just mix that in. Again, this will take a couple of seconds, but just that little bit of pasta water that you add in will help to thicken and cream that sauce up. And you see how the eggs just mixed in directly with that. They're not scrambling, so you're not going to be looking at scrambled eggs at this point, but all these flavors just come together and they make the most amazing creamy sauce for this pasta. Alright guys, so this is just about done. Alright, and we have got it plated, topped with a little bit more cheese. This again is the traditional spaghetti carbonara. It is an amazing meal. Hopefully you guys like the recipe. All that is left now is to dig in and eat. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully you guys will try this recipe yourself. Take care.